Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm so sorry it took me forever to make this video, but this will be my labor and delivery video and the first week postpartum. Also be introducing you to my son Josiah. He is adorable and um yeah, I had him January the 6th, 2011 at 6:13 p.m. and he is just awesome. He is such a lovely, I'm in love with him. So, okay, about labor and delivery. First thing Monday, I had got a membrane sweep. I went to my doctor's office, got a membrane sweep. She said that if I didn't go into labor within um, 24 hours, 48 hours, that they was going to take the baby the next day. Not the next day, I'm sorry. The next week, which would have made me 41 weeks. She was trying to really respect that I wanted to go into labor naturally, and I didn't really want a C-section. So she said as long as the baby wasn't in distress and there was nothing wrong, the baby was active, that she will allow me to go into labor myself. Well, she did a membrane sweep that Monday. I thought I was going into labor, so I went to labor and delivery and got sent home. So that Thursday, that Thursday morning, around 2 o'clock, I was laying in the bed and I just felt this gush of something, and it was like, I don't know. It wasn't no pop. It was just I felt wet. So I got up, went to the bathroom, used the bathroom, and noticed that my urine was kind of cloudy, but I didn't think nothing of it, I guess, because I was just waking up and I really didn't think nothing of it. But when I went to bed and went to go right back to sleep, it's just something in my mind was like, get back up. I had a doctor's appointment that day anyway, but something was just telling me to get back up and just walk around. So that's what I did. I got up, I walked around, I told my husband and I think I was leaking, but I wasn't sure. And he was like, oh, you gotta go to the doctor's today. I was like, yeah. So it really didn't click to him at that time. Well, while I'm walking around, I really didn't feel nothing else. So I was about to go back to bed and I decided to get something to drink before. So I went and got something, drank some water, and while I'm drinking water, I feel this water running down my legs. So I ran to the bathroom, started washing up, and while I'm washing up, just more water just coming down. So I knew at that point that my bag had broke. So I went in the room and I told my husband, I was like, my water broke. We have to go to the hospital now. And so he gets up in like this straight up daze, literally running from one end to the next end, not picking up nothing, not getting anything, just like he was lost. And it was so funny. It was like hilarious. So I finally he snapped out of it and started getting dressed and stuff really fast. And then we got into the car and it was like snowing. Like, it wasn't snowing hard, but it was snowing. And we get on the freeway. Instead of doing like 60, he is doing 45. So I was getting so annoyed. Like, come on, we gotta get to the hospital. And the reason why I was so anxious to get to the hospital is because that Tuesday, when I had my ultrasound, my amniotic fluid was already a 7. They said that was low. So I'm like, if I'm already having low amniotic fluid, I want to make sure that my baby is okay. So we get to the hospital, and they bring me right into triage. And then they checked me to see if my bag had ruptured, and they do a little swipe around your cervix, and they see if it changes blue. Well, it changed blue, like, instantly. So they admitted me, and they got me prepared to get into my room. My husband went out and called everybody and told everybody that I was that I was in the hospital and that I was having a baby today. And I was excited. He was excited. We get to the hospital. I mean, we get into our room around like 5, and got hooked up on the IV. Um, and then the guy came in for the pitocin around 6. So they started me on pitocin around 6. It was like 6:13 at that time, and I just sat and waited. So they checked me about 2 hours later, and nothing was changing. My cervix was still at a 90% phase, and I was still dilated 2. And well, I was 2.5 going on 3. And so she turned the pitocin up. When it hit around 12, when she turned it up to 12, 12 drops per minute, that's when I started feeling the contractions was getting worse. Like, I started feeling the tugging, the pulling, and it was very, very uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it was very painful, but it was very uncomfortable. I couldn't get comfortable in the bed. I couldn't get comfortable how I was sitting, and it was really uncomfortable. So she asked me, did I want any type of medication. I told her that I wanted something to go into the IV bag. I didn't want the epidural at that time. So she was trying to get me to get the epidural, but I didn't want the epidural at that time. I wish I would have listened to her because, yeah, I'm gonna get to that point. Anyway, she gave me Nubanes to just take the edge off, and it basically make you feel like you high. And I was in there just feeling like, I don't know, just hot, and just I felt like I was high, but it was like, I don't know, it got me emotional. I got really extremely emotional. And so it was nothing that didn't really take the edge off either. It just make you feel weird. So I would not get that again. No, I wouldn't. But when she finally got the pitocin up to 16 drops per minute, that's when I started having contractions, and they was coming every 2 to 3 minutes. And man, when I tell you, I was in some pain. And I was trying to breathe through it. And it's like, it's good to have a coach, because let me say this, if I did not have my husband there and we did not practice the coaching on how to breathe, and just not even how to breathe, because literally when you get there and you just go with what's comfortable for you, that did not work for me at all. I had to that's how I had to breathe, because literally that did not work at all, and I was literally going to drive myself crazy. So you do what your body tell you to do, like literally, because that's going to be the only thing that's going to really help you. And if I didn't have my husband there just like telling me how much longer I had to go, and just really keeping me mentally there, I think I would have freaked out, and I would have just like went crazy. But me and him did so good together, and we just breathed it out, and it was painful. And when I asked for the epidural, the anesthesiologist came in. He went to go put the epidural in, but it was like I was in so much pain, I could not sit straight. But when he finally got it in, he was like, "Okay, do you feel the tingling in your feet?" I felt nothing. And it got to a point where I wasn't feeling nothing. I wasn't numb. It was a waste of his time. So they went to check me again, because they was wondering why I wasn't feeling anything. Like, why wasn't I feeling the epidural? And I was already 10 dilated. So the epidural did not do anything for me. and I felt everything my entire pregnancy. I mean, my entire labor. So when I became thin dilated around 5:45, or it was like 5:45 or 5:50, and she had me do two practice pushes. Once I did the first practice push, she was like, "Oh no, stop, stop, stop," because the baby head was right there, and she knew that as soon as I pushed another time, he was gonna be out. So, um, you get this extreme urge to just like push. I mean, the urge is so, and when they tell you not to push, it's like you just want to. You want to bear down so bad. It's like your body actually pushes for you. Well, the doctor got there around 6 o'clock. They got me. She got prepped, and all the nurses came in and stuff like that. And then, as soon as she said push, I pushed. I pushed like 3 times, and he was out. He was born, and it was like the most surreal feeling ever, because I mean, you feel that classic ring of fire, but I had pushed so hard and I pushed him out so quick that that ring of fire feeling wasn't, it didn't stay for long. It was just a little burn, and I pushed again and he was out. So um it wasn't bad. I think the pushing part is the best part out of all of it. Like, because the pain actually goes away. Now, I did tear. I had a second-degree tear. Um and she had to sew up my uterus, because I had a tear there too, or something like that. I don't know. She said that they had to um, sew it, but they didn't sew it closed. They just, sewed a little bit around it or something like that. Um, he looks just like my husband, like spitting image of my husband, and he is so adorable. So I'm going to stop here, and in our next video I'm going to show you my son. His name is Joel Josiah. His name comes from his father. Josiah is the name that I really love, so we gave that to him as a middle name. And yeah, and the meaning of it is firstborn. So I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to show you guys my son and my first week postpartum. Alright, see you guys. Bye.